Okay, you guys. So I have this this pier section. This is a flat pier from the Walther's Pier Kit, and I'm actually going to use this as a guide. I want the car ferry to be as wide and as long as this piece of plastic here. The problem is that this boat is not going to be built like a regular ship or a boat. It's going to be built to the water line. So the problem there is that I'm not going to have a full rounded hull. So instead of building the entire boat and then cutting off the bottom, I'm going to build it as if it was built like a waterline hull. So the first thing I want to do is I want to plan out how things are going to go. I know for sure that the front of the boat is going to have an angled front hull like so, but these boats have like a square hull and a square front end on the nose because they run vehicles on and off them. So actually what I'm thinking is I think I'll actually use this piece. I'm not sure if I'll use it as a deck or as the bottom. But since it's already one whole piece, I may as well just use it. But I'm thinking I'm going to use it as the deck because this is just going to have a hollow bottom on it. I'm not sure how easy it's going to be to glue the styrene, this type of plastic, to the balsa wood. It'll definitely be a chore, but I think I can do it. So I'm going to start by taking off these little lines here in the front. They're like slats to help the pier piles stay glued. But this is not going to be a pier. It will be ocean related, but it's not going to be a pier.
How much is the plan for this smartphone? $40 a month. Even with the new Samsung Galaxy S5? Yep. How much is the plan with that shiny gold phone? It's got to be like, what, $1,000 bucks, right?
You're wrong. No matter which phone you choose, our plans are
Okay, I got rid of the
pick the phone you want on the plan you want. Unlimited talk, text, and data.
little, I don't know what you'd call them, pegs or whatever, up on the top. I'll just clean this one up a little better. See how this lines up again? That's a lot better. Okay, so now I know that from memory and from photos that I have that this car float has angled front end up here at the front. Not severely angled, just slightly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eyeball this front. Create a cut. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, you didn't measure it. Oh, I just broke my blade. I think I can still use it to cut this one piece. Yeah, what you're thinking probably is, oh no, he didn't measure it before he cut it. It's no big deal. You take this piece and you slap it on here, and then you got an exact replica of a line on this side. Now it's slightly moved a little bit, so I'm going to straighten it when I scribe the second line. Even though my blade is broke, I think I can finish cutting this.
Tonight, a chance of afternoon showers tomorrow again, and a high of 60, 70 again by Thursday, and warmer this coming weekend. Weather anytime.
Still a pretty sharp blade.
Where you can get full information on the ultimate prize, well, places to register.
There's the front end.
Listing for your name to qualify. 105.7.
The front end of the boat. Now what I'll take and do, because now that I have two of these that are the same, well, reversed anyway. Let me see. Those will be discarded. Now I want to measure this tip to the tip of the balsa wood. Yeah, that's going to work. Now, since this model will be painted later, I can go ahead and put marks on it, which I will. Okay, that's gonna work. I'll take my ruler. And this time I do want to measure to the bottom. Mainly because boats are pretty tough to do. I have a couple of old fishing boats that I did. They're really fun to work with, but it's really hard to get things straight. And this is going to basically go together like a jig. I'm going to cut out all the pieces and then I'm going to glue them all together like a puzzle almost. Okay, this will be the front of the boat. It's going to be about that high off the water. Okay, now, when you see boats in the water, they're not perfectly straight, they're slightly curved. Yes, I'm going to curve this. And this is going to be the hard part because the sides will all have to be bent. Okay, now the back piece is going to be straight. I'll be damned, that's long enough. Now this is gonna, that's a little crooked. Now this build is going to take me quite a while. This is not something that's gonna just happen overnight. But it is gonna be quite an endeavor to get things the way I want them. Okay, so now on the back of the boat, I don't want the back of the boat to be like this. I want it to curve in, you know, like a boat would. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lightly scribe this when I go over it 2 or 3 times, I do it a little harder and slightly harder. I want to keep this in one piece, this little piece here, because I want to set it on this side and use it as a jig again. It's like a guide to the next piece that I want to cut off. I really need to put a new blade in this, so I'll be turning this off pretty soon and putting a new blade in, and then going from there. Okay, this one cracked, but you can pretty much see that they're the same thing. Okay, so when it goes on the back, I'm also going to shorten this too. I'm going to cut the top off this because I want the back to be lower than the front. I want the front to kind of be up in the air a little bit. That's how these boats are. They're bent funny and look funny. So when this goes on the back, it'll look like that. And that will be the conformity that I'll have to bend the side pieces to. Once I get the front and back on, then I can start putting some of these pieces in here, like the pipes and coil, what do you call this, cross beams and stuff in there. And I have a whole box full, in case you're worried about not having enough here. I can't even see if I'm looking at the box. There we go. So yeah, plus I have that box full of long ones. Then I have this tube here full of dowels. So I have plenty to work with. Anyway, that is how things are gonna go. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna glue the front piece on, I'm gonna glue the back piece on, and I'm gonna have it upside down when we come back. So I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, here you can see that I got the basic bottom shell of the boat. I've got the back piece done. That will be the back of the boat. That flat piece right there will be just a brace that goes across. You can see how I have the front set up. It's flat and square in the front. Well, not square, it's rectangle, but it's squared, at least until it comes back to these bunks here, which are curved on either side. Now, I'm having a hard time with the glue drying to the styrene, but the glue is holding just fine to wood. So wood to wood contact is good. I need to wait a little bit longer, and what I'm going to do next is I'm going to take bits of styrene, balsa wood, like this. There's the size of it. It is 1/16 by 2 36, 0.6 thousandths thick. Which it's not really thick, but it's thicker than most balsa wood, so these will be perfect for the bunks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to cut it curved, like this curved bunk, and I'm going to put them in these grooves all the way down. The grooves will actually work perfect. They actually hold the balsa wood in those little grooves, which is perfect. But I'm going to put those curved bunks all the way down here, and then I'm going to worry about getting it structurally strong before I start putting the outer skin on. I have a bunch of these. It's balsa wood, but it's like laminate. And as you can see, it's very thin, very pliable. I have, well, in case you can't see that, I have a huge stack of pieces of balsa wood that are so thin that I could easily conform them around the bunks. And these will be the sides going down. Once I get to the corners, where it has to have the funky shape to it and round it off, I'm just going to put as much wood on there as I can, and then I'll fill in those corners with wall and joint compound like I did on my other boats. And I will actually sand it to be smooth. But as far as the hull goes, I'm not too concerned with the hull because you know, most of it's going to be dirty, rusty, and it's not going to be seen. I'm going to worry more about the cabin up on the top and the details, and you know, I have a bunch of these. Let's see, one that'll get on film really well. This one has a burr on it. I have a bunch of these little wooden benches. I'm not sure what company they came from, but I got them at the estate sale, and they're pretty nice. They're all wood though. So most of this build will be balsa wood. Most of it will be wood, you know, not balsa wood, but I doubt I'll put a whole lot of styrene on here.
I just want to find the perfect match.
But anyway, I don't want to ramble too much. When we come back, you'll start seeing the bunks down the side, and should be more secure then. See you guys.